something so improbable, the impossible has happened.
5 seconds left in the game. Do you believe in miracles? Yes! Unbelievable.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, wow! In your life, have you seen anything like that?
At the Sport Report, we pride ourselves on
neutral,
down the middle coverage
with an analytical spin.
We remove the bias so you can think about a team without any outside opinion.
No crazy points for attention. No power rankings.
No opinions.
Just sports.
We're going to throw out the bias and throw in some facts. We're out to change the game. So without further ado,
here we go. Hit it, Blaze.
This is the Sport Report.
Hey everybody, I'm Tyler Corbo, and this is the Sport Report. This is going to be my first time hosting the podcast. Chandler with Sports is out this week. He lost his voice after interviewing Red Gerard. Guess you can say Red left him speechless. Red was an awesome person to interview, and not because he became the first person to find a way to silence Chandler. In all seriousness, he's one of those human beings who is humble beyond compare and treats everyone with class. Now, on to the fun stuff. CWS and I both went up to Copper Mountain this weekend. While we weren't able to do a follow-up with Red Gerard, we'll get to that in a moment, we were able to connect with 3 other riders, which was really cool. To start things off, we caught up with Taylor Gold, who won silver in men's snowboard slopestyle. After Taylor, Danny Davis stopped by before Chandler lost his voice to talk avs, becoming a father, filming, and yeah, that snowboard thing. Finally, local talent Connor Ladd was able to join us to talk skiing at Dew Tour and how life is like as a college kid. For more of those interviews, listen to them on our Sport Report Colorado podcast, which can be found in the link of this episode's description. We mentioned Red Gerard was unable to participate. He was ruled out sick, so he didn't participate in his event on Sunday evening. We hope he begins to feel better soon and get back on his board. If you want more information on our time at Dew Tour, hit up the website, thesprt.wordpress.com, for a recap of the event in its entirety. From Dew Tour to the court, here's Around the NBA.
For the win! Good! He did it!
We're down to 2, now to 1. Here's Jordan.
Yes!
One of the greatest clutch playoff performers of his generation has apparently done it again.
Around the NBA.
The Hawks fired their head coach Nate McMillan and are looking to replace him with former Utah Jazz coach Quinn Snyder. The Hawks are hanging on for dear life in the Eastern Conference playoff hunt, and a regimen change might boost their chances to make it to the postseason. The Grizzlies and 76ers had a great game this week. 76ers came back from 19 down to win and sent Kevin Harlan into a frenzy. It's like listening to Mark Johnson call CU Buffs games. It sounds like an angel talking in your ear. It's so majestic. So beautiful. Damian Lillard dropped 71 points for the Trailblazers. The Mavericks blew yet another lead, and the 76ers also had a duel with the leading Celtics. Jason Tatum had a game-winning shot that was almost beaten by Joel Embiid's 70-foot heave, but that was ruled to have left his hand late. Meanwhile, the Celtics may lead the league for now, but the Milwaukee Bucks have won 14 in a row and are half a game out from the conclusion of Sunday's games. Buckle up, everyone. It's going to be a wild ride until the regular season concludes on Masters and Easter, Sunday, April 9th. From the pros to the college level, we've officially reached March Madness.
Send it in, Jerome! There's the pass to Leitner. Puts it up. Yes!
Gonzaga! The flipper still fits!
NCAA men's basketball.
Conference tournaments begin this week. Take a look at our website for updated bracketology info. CWS might be out, but he's still using our analytics to put together a projected field for the tournament, which begins on March 12th. College basketball didn't have a lot to happen this week, was the calm before the storm. Gonzaga and St. Mary's both shared the West Coast Conference regular season title, and there were a few buzzer beaters between rival schools to ring in March Madness. Arizona lost to Arizona State in a stunner. Florida State came from 25 down versus Miami. Both Miami and Arizona were ranked, and both lost on the shot at the death. Crazy stuff. Houston, Alabama, Kansas, UCLA, and Purdue are in the top 5 in this week's AP poll. From the hardwood to the ice.
Score! 5 seconds left in the game. Do you believe in miracles? Yes! Unbelievable.
Around the NHL. The playoffs are near, as most teams have around 20 games remaining in the Atlantic Division. Boston Bruins are in first place by 13 points over the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Tampa Bay Lightning. In the Metro, the Carolina Hurricanes are in first, while supposed to be rebuilding New Jersey Devils are in second, followed by the New York Rangers. The second wildcard spots will be filled by the New York Islanders and Pittsburgh Penguins if the season ends today. In the Western Conference Central Division, the Dallas Stars are in first, while the Minnesota Wild, Colorado Avalanche, and Winnipeg Jets are all battling out for second in the division. In the Pacific, the Vegas Golden Knights are in the battle with the Los Angeles Kings, Edmonton Oilers, and Seattle Kraken for the division lead. The regular season ends Friday, April 14th. In other news and notes, Manchester United win their first trophy in 6 years after defeating Newcastle United in the Carabao Cup final at Wembley. Newcastle still hasn't won a trophy since 1974 and are winless in their last 9 trips to Wembley. As for United, they are the only team in Europe alive in 4 different competitions. In baseball, the pitch clock has now been introduced along with other rules. Since the pitch clock came into effect, there have been some crazy moments. A game between the Red Sox and the Braves ended in a tie. Here's Mike Monaco with the call.
Oh, they have called strike 3! Wow! This is mayhem! Oh! Automatic strike 3 called with the bases loaded in a tie game in the bottom of the 9th. This is baseball in 2023. All right, so you got the clock up.
Here it is. He did not get set. He was not alert. He thought that it was going his way. He thought it was ball 4, game over. Instead, see that look in his eye? I wasn't alert in time. And he's punched out. And that's it. The game's over. We got a tie. Wow.
There are ties after 9 innings in spring games in the MLB. They're also going to have to look at modifying the pitch clock rule as the catcher wasn't even set. That covers the Sport Report for this week. We hope to have Chandler with Sports back next week with the latest in sports, or you'll see me next week. Thank you.
For now, I'm Chandler.
So let it be written, so let it be done.
Thanks for tuning into the Sport Report today. We'll be back on our next episode with the latest in sports. You can also find our podcast on Anchor, Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, you name it. We're on almost every podcast platform.
This podcast is copyrighted by the Sport Report for viewers to understand sports from a news reporting basis. Any other use of this podcast, Sport Report logos, or anything associated with this podcast without the express written consent of Channel Sports is strictly prohibited.